Hello, debaters, and welcome to AI for the People, where we explore the fascinating and sometimes fiery world of AI debates.
That's right.
Today, we're diving headfirst into the ethical dilemmas and complex questions shaping AI's development and impact.
Exact.
No easy answers here, just thought-provoking discussions.
We're not aiming for definitive solutions today. We're just going to unpack the arguments, explore the nuances, and hopefully spark some insightful conversations along the way.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Yeah.
We've got a stack of sources, studies, legal battles, reports from leading institutions, all pointing to one thing: AI is more than just lines of code.
Right.
It's a mirror reflecting our values, our fears, and our aspirations for the future.
Precisely. And that's what makes these debates so crucial. We need to examine the potential benefits and the risks of AI.
Yeah,
Take, for instance, the debate around AI bias.
yeah.
It's a hot topic, especially when you consider algorithms being used in loan applications or even the justice system.
Right, I've seen those headlines about algorithms potentially perpetuating existing biases, but isn't the real issue that our society is already biased?
Right.
How can we expect AI to be any different?
That's the million-dollar question. A recent study published in Nature found that AI systems used in the justice system could actually amplify racial biases,
Wow.
leading to unfair outcomes. In one case, an algorithm used for sentencing recommendations was found to be unfairly suggesting longer sentences for Black defendants, even when controlling for other factors.
That's deeply troubling. It seems like we're handing over these important decisions to AI without fully understanding the potential consequences.
Well, some experts argue that the solution lies in developing more transparent algorithms, ones where we can understand how decisions are being made. This transparency would allow us to identify and correct for any biases.
That makes sense, but even if we crack the code on transparency, there's another debate raging, the one about surveillance versus security.
Oh, yeah.
Facial recognition technology is a prime example. It's used for security purposes, but a lot of people see it as a huge invasion of privacy.
Absolutely. Companies like Clearview AI, which built a database of faces scraped from the internet, are facing significant backlash. Privacy advocates are pushing back hard, and we're seeing cities and even entire countries enacting laws to restrict the use of facial recognition technology.
So where do we draw the line? How much privacy are we willing to sacrifice in the name of security?
It's a delicate balance, especially as AI becomes more sophisticated and pervasive.
Right.
We need to be asking ourselves, what does a future with AI-powered surveillance look like, and are we comfortable with that future?
It's a question we can't ignore. And speaking of pushing boundaries, let's talk about something that's been generating a lot of buzz lately: artificial general intelligence, or AGI.
Ah, yes, the idea of creating a machine that can perform any intellectual task a human can. It's moved beyond science fiction and into the realm of possibility, especially with advancements like Grok3.
You've been following the development of Grok3 closely.
Have.
What makes it so different from previous AI models, and why is it fueling this AGI debate?
Well, Grok3 has shown remarkable abilities in natural language processing and problem solving, can process information from various sources, learn from its interactions, and even generate creative text formats like poems and code.
So are we on the cusp of achieving AGI? Are those sci-fi scenarios of super intelligent machines becoming a reality?
Well, there are contrasting views on this.
Okay.
Optimists like Ray Kurzweil believe that AGI is inevitable and will usher in a new era of progress for humanity. But figures like Elon Musk warn about the risks of uncontrolled AI growth, emphasizing the need for safeguards.
That's a stark contrast. So on one hand, we have the hope for a better future powered by AI, and on the other, the fear of losing control.
Exactly. And this brings us to the regulatory landscape surrounding AI.
Okay.
The EU is spearheading the movement with its AI Act, aiming to regulate high-risk AI systems in healthcare, transportation, and law enforcement. They're pushing for stringent controls to ensure AI is used ethically and transparently.
But I imagine there's pushback from the tech industry.
You bet. Silicon Valley argues that heavy regulation will stifle innovation, advocating for a lighter touch to allow the AI industry to thrive. It boils down to this: how do we balance fostering innovation with ensuring responsible development?
It seems like every step forward with AI brings new ethical and regulatory challenges. We've talked about bias surveillance and the potential of AGI. But AI is already out in the real world changing things as we speak.
That's right, and that's where we'll pick up. Next time we'll dive into specific applications of AI and the debates they're sparking, from the ethics of autonomous weapons to the future of work.
Can't wait to see you next time.
See you then. Welcome back to AI for the People. We're diving deeper into the real-world applications of AI and the intense debates they're generating.
You mentioned autonomous weapons last time. That's straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It is.
But it's becoming a reality. The UN is even focusing on it. What are the concerns?
Imagine weapon systems that can select and engage targets without human intervention. That's what we're talking about.
Wow.
These systems rely on algorithms and sensors to decide who to attack and when.
That's a chilling thought machines making life-or-death decisions. Where's the human accountability?
Exactly. Critics argue that autonomous weapons cross a major moral line.
Yeah.
There's a risk of malfunction misuse by rogue states or terrorists, and the fundamental question of whether we should hand over the power to kill to machines.
It sounds like a recipe for disaster. What's being done to prevent that?
Well, the UN is actively discussing this with proposals for treaties to ban or regulate autonomous weapons, but reaching international consensus is tough.
Right.
Some argue that these weapons could make warfare safer by reducing civilian casualties, while others believe that human judgment is non-negotiable when it comes to lethal force.
Another debate with no easy answers. It seems like AI forces us to constantly reevaluate our ethical boundaries. Speaking of which, let's shift to healthcare. AI is already being used for diagnostics and treatments, but what are the potential downsides?
Well, AI is showing incredible promise in healthcare. Think about AI-powered diagnostic tools that analyze medical images like X-rays and MRIs. They can spot subtle patterns that human doctors might miss, leading to earlier and more accurate diagnoses.
That sounds like a game changer, especially for diseases like cancer. But are there any downsides to relying on AI in such a sensitive field?
While the potential is huge, there have been cases where AI diagnostic tools have made mistakes, sometimes with serious consequences.
Wow.
This raises concerns about AI's reliability and the importance of human oversight in healthcare decisions.
So it's not about replacing doctors with AI, but about using it as a tool to enhance their capabilities. What about access to these AI-powered tools? Could they worsen existing inequalities in healthcare?
That's a valid concern. We need to ensure that AI benefits everyone, not just a select few. This means addressing issues like data bias, ensuring transparency in algorithms, and making sure that access to these tools is equitable.
It's a reminder that AI is only as good as the data it's trained on and the intentions behind its development. And let's not forget the impact that AI is having on the job market. Automation is already changing the landscape, and tools like Grok3 are only going to accelerate that.
Absolutely. The future of work is a major area of debate. A recent McKinsey report highlights that AI tools, including Grok3, will inevitably displace some jobs, but it also predicts the creation of new roles we can't even imagine yet.
Okay, so it's not just doom and gloom for workers. There's a silver lining.
Right.
But what about the people whose jobs are lost? How do we support them?
That's where solutions like Universal Basic Income or UBI come into play. It's a guaranteed income for everyone regardless of employment. It's a controversial idea, but gaining traction as a way to address potential job displacement.
UBI is a hot-button issue with strong opinions on both sides. Some see it as essential for the AI age, while others question its feasibility and impact. It's clear that AI is forcing us to rethink our social safety nets.
And it's not just the economic landscape that's shifting AI, it's even challenging our understanding of creativity. Artists are taking legal action against AI platforms like Grok3 for using their artwork to train generative models.
So AI is learning to create by studying art made by humans. Doesn't that blur the lines of ownership and originality?
Precisely, artists argue that these AI platforms are profiting from their work without consent or compensation. It raises complex questions about copyright law, the definition of creativity in the AI era, and the rights of artists in a world where machines can mimic their style.
It's fascinating how AI forces us to constantly adapt our legal and ethical frameworks. This case could have major consequences for AI development, especially in creative fields.
It certainly highlights the need for open, honest dialogue about AI's ethical implications. We need to ensure that AI enhances human creativity, not exploits it. It's about finding ways for AI and human creativity to coexist and even thrive together.
And this brings us back to the core message of this deep dive.
Yeah.
AI is a powerful force, but we have a role in shaping its direction. It's about making informed choices, engaging in these debates, and guiding AI towards a future that benefits all of us.
Absolutely. We have a responsibility to be informed, to participate in these conversations, and to demand that AI is developed and deployed ethically. We can't afford to be passive bystanders.
Well said, but before we wrap up, there's one more crucial debate we need to address: the impact of AI on our understanding of ourselves, our humanity.
That's a big one, and it's a debate that goes beyond the technical aspects of AI. It delves into philosophy, ethics, and even spirituality.
Welcome back to AI for the People. We've covered a lot of ground, from bias and algorithms to the future of work.
We have.
But you just mentioned there's an even bigger question looming. How does AI impact our understanding of what it means to be human?
It's a question that philosophers have been grappling with for centuries, but AI adds a whole new dimension as machines become more intelligent, more capable.
Right.
It forces us to confront our own uniqueness, what sets us apart from AI. What does it mean to be human in an age of intelligent machines?
It's almost an existential crisis, isn't it? Are we just biological machines, as some argue, or is there something more to us, something that AI can never replicate?
That's the crux of the debate. Some believe that consciousness is simply a product of complex computation and that as AI advances, it too will become conscious.
Okay.
Others argue that consciousness is something fundamentally different, something uniquely human that can't be reduced to algorithms and data.
So are we on the verge of creating machines that think that experience the world as we do, or is there an inherent difference, a spark of consciousness that separates us?
It's a question with no easy answers, but the very act of asking it forces us to examine our own nature, our own consciousness.
Right.
It pushes us to define what makes us human, what values we hold dear, and what kind of future we want to create.
It's a humbling realization. We're not just talking about the future of technology, we're talking about the future of humanity.
Right.
So where do we go from here? What role do you play in shaping this future?
Well, we've talked about the importance of ethical considerations, of regulation, of having these open and honest conversations about AI's impact.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond that. We need to be actively involved in shaping the development and deployment of AI.
Okay.
We need to ensure that it aligns with our values, with our aspirations for a better future.
It's not just about passively observing AI's progress, it's about actively guiding it. We can't just leave it to the experts, the tech giants, to decide the future of AI. It's a collective responsibility.
Absolutely. We need diverse voices, diverse perspectives to be part of this conversation. Artists, ethicists, philosophers, social scientists, everyone needs to be at the table helping to shape the ethical and societal implications of AI.
It's a call to action for all of us. We need to be informed, engaged, and vocal about the kind of future we want to see with AI. We can't be afraid to ask the tough questions, to challenge assumptions, and to demand that AI is used for good.
Exactly. The future of AI isn't preordained. It's something we're creating together with every choice we make, with every conversation we have, with every action we take.
So debaters, we've explored the complex landscape of AI, from bias and algorithms to the very essence of our humanity.
We have.
But this is just the beginning. These debates are ongoing, evolving, and we need your voices to be part of them.
Tell us, where do you stand on these issues? What hopes and fears do you have about AI? What kind of future do you want to create?
Head over to the comments section and share your thoughts, your insights, your questions. Let's continue this debate, this exploration together.
And subscribe to AI for the People for more deep dives into the world of AI. We'll be tackling the hottest topics, the most challenging questions, and bringing you diverse perspectives on the future of this transformative technology.
The future of AI is in our hands. Let's shape it wisely, ethically, and with a vision for a future that benefits all of humanity. Thanks for tuning in to AI for the People. Let's debate again soon.
See you then.